So hello and welcome to this week's angling blog. This week you join us on an adventure back down to the banks of the River Severn, and hopefully we're going to go in search of Mr. Barbel. So the forecast isn't great, rain from 10 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock at night, so God knows what state of river we're going to. The van behind us is loaded, so I hope you enjoy coming along with me and Gary on this River Severn adventure, and let's see what awaits. Let's get in the car and get down there. Well, hello and welcome to this week's angling blog. This week you join me back on the banks of Atcham, and we're definitely in search of Barbel. Like I said at the start, it's going to be an adventure. The river doesn't look too different, but as you can see the conditions are pretty terrible. Both the rods are in and we'll go over the setup when I bring them in. Mitzi's underneath the shelter with me, and Gary is underneath his brolly down there while he sorts his gear out. The target today is literally going to be one barbel each, and what the session holds, I don't know. Conditions here could change dramatically. There's a lot of rain coming down. The river could rise. You just don't know what's going to happen. We're prepared. We've got the shelter up. The rods are out. And fingers crossed, Mr. Barbel will make an appearance. When we arrived, the rain hadn't really set in at that point, so what we've done is we put plenty of the hemp on this inside line here, you know, loads of catapults of it to set that bed of bait, and when them barbel come through you want to hold them in the area, so we're putting a good bit of hemp down that line there, and thankfully we managed to get that out before this rain arrived. What we're hoping for is, as you can see over there, breaks in the rain where you can get out, cast the rods and get a break in it. That's the hope, and hopefully we can get Mr. Barbel on the bank.
You say you don't wanna get in trouble, that you're doing fine cause you got me. I don't wanna break your little bubble, but you gotta wake up to reality. Cause I can see in your eyes, your head is full of dreams. Tears aren't proof of failure. You just gotta let them flow without judge. There's so many ways to be happy.
So we're breaking the rain, and hopefully this is the way it continues. The right hand rod, I've got 3/4 of the way over into that dark shadow, a deeper gully over there, and did as well last week. So we've got a bait over there, simple setup like you can see on screen now, a bolt and run kit down to a feeder, 8-pound line fluorocarbon, and I use the Dread and Suplex, and it's a size 14 hook down to a banded pellet. The left hand rod, exactly the same setup, just going into this area here, and we're feeding hemp all the way through this line here, so we can pick up fish in front of us. Thoughts on the River Severn in this area in the Barbel is there are resident fish, and that's sometimes why you get an early bite, but like we seen last week, I think they come up in a shoal and you've got to hold them in front of you, especially if there's more anglers on. The reasoning behind that theory is last week we had 3 barbel on the bank in about 10 minutes, and that's not the first time that's happened, so my thinking is a shoal's moving through. You then get a quiet period and then the same happens again, so that's what I base my theory on. A bit of an update, we've kept on casting, but conditions, as you can tell, are terrible. The wind howling in, and there's a bit of rain with it as well. We're keeping on casting the rods, but it does feel like one of those days where it's going to be hard, and any barbel is going to be hard earned, but we're putting the hard work in and hopefully we'll get the reward. So we've sat through all types of conditions, the rain, the sun, the wind, and eventually the left hand rod has hooped off with a barbel, most definitely. Just see it just pulling away. It's going to take a time, just try and get this first one in. It's about 6 o'clock, so we're moving into the right time of day. But boy, it's not been easy. So you can see the amount of weed in the river, and it is nit one, pearl one to get them in, but boy have me and Gaddy worked for this fish. You see the barbel just down there in the clear water. I mean, his little last break for freedom, and boy have we worked for that, mate, haven't we? What's it? We've had wind, rain, hail, thunderstorms, shelter got blown away, everything. And it's always exciting when you get a barbel, but again, the most important thing, give him a good rest, and then we'll get him out and blog him. Apologies for the wind noise, the first barbel of the session, and we have worked hard for it, most definitely. We've had all the conditions in one day, and it just went a bit overcast, and I said to Gaddy, it looks right again, and hopefully this is the start of a few bites. Let's get the barbel back rested and get the rod back out. So that barbel's been in the edge for about 5-10 minutes. He's kicking away, there's going to be no problems whatsoever. There we go. Big kick of the tail and back out there. Hopefully now that's the start of 1 or 2. So after catching 10 barbel last week, we've had one of the hardest days on the bank. Gary literally packing away now, the last of the gear, and my rod's just literally gone. I've grabbed it, we've been bit off by pike, we've had all types of adventures, but it's just been hard. Hopefully we can end this short vlog with a barbel. I'm looking for a name for the vlog. It will be That's Fishing. 10 barbel last week, and this week we've literally worked our hardest and got 2. But isn't that just what fishing's all about? The hard days where you work at it are just as rewarding as the days when it kind of comes easy. As with all the videos on the channel, it is real fishing, and all that remains is to wish you all tight lines in your own fishing, and we'll catch you all next week. Tight lines.